Okay, we just finished part 1 where we talked about persuasive speaking and what you are going to try to make your persuasion, whether it's changing a belief, a behavior, an attitude, a value. We also discussed that there's no need for you to do the value or attitude. That's more for an advanced public speaking or a public speaking class, and we're just introducing you to public speaking. So we talked about that. What we're going to talk about now is the introduction of your speech. And this is a fun part. You introduce your wonderful topic to us. You have passion about it. The first thing that you need to do is to have your attention getter right here. Your attention getter is the first thing that you need to have in your speech. An attention getter has 2 things to it. 2 things, okay? 1, 2. 1, 2. First, your attention getter has to relate to the topic. If you're going to deliver a speech about water bottles and you're trying to persuade us to change a behavior, your attention getter should do something with water, something with bottled water. You shouldn't say, here's my attention getter, if you don't use it, if you don't quit, you drink your bottled water, you're blah, 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 you know. This has nothing to do with bottled water. It's my brush, you know. Has nothing to do with bottled water. Your attention getter should relate to the topic. If you're talking to us about bottled water, your attention getter should relate to bottled water. It should also be appropriate. Let me give you an example of inappropriate. I had a student give a speech on tattoos, which is fine. I love tattoos. I think tattoos are great. So, for her attention getter, she wanted to show us a tattoo. So, she gets up and she starts unbuttoning her shirt. And I said, whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm sitting in the back of the room, her right, whoa, whoa. What are you doing? She said, oh, I'm doing my attention getter. Great, but what are you doing? You're unbuttoning your shirt. Give me some direction before I let you go on. She said, oh, I want to show you my tattoo. I said, fine, but where's your tattoo? She said, it's right here. I said, no, we will not be seeing your tattoo. Yes, it related to the topic, but no, it was inappropriate. So she did not receive any credit for that attention getter. Your attention getter has to have 2 things. It has to be appropriate to the topic, and it has to relate to that topic as well. You must have an attention getter. Then credibility. Build credibility for yourself. Why are you credible to talk to us and persuade us about this speech? I had a wonderful student deliver a speech on persuasion, on trying to get us to take part in the breast cancer walk. And she gave us this impassioned story about her aunt that lost her life to breast cancer and what it meant to her and what she went through it as a niece, seeing her young aunt go through this process. That brought credibility to her. Maybe you went out and did a lot of research. If you're volunteering, find some way to bring credibility to you as a speaker and to your topic. Now, that's attention getter, credibility. Let's talk about your thesis. I expect you to say, today my goal is to persuade you to change a belief. Today my goal is to persuade you to change a behavior. I say that, and I know it's perfunctory. I know it's robotic to say that. However, we're in an introduction part. This is chapter 11 and 12 and 13. Actually, this is like chapter 14 or 15 because it's specifically persuasive speaking. But it's just a little sliver of our entire semester. We don't have time to learn everything there is to know. If you want to learn more, you go to public speaking, advanced public speaking. In your thesis, I expect you to say, today my goal is to persuade you to change your belief about. Today my goal is to get you to change a behavior about. I want you to do this instead of this. Now, that's your attention getter, credibility, thesis. Now you have to preview your main points. In order to persuade you not to drink bottled water anymore, the first point I'm going to talk about is the problem. What's the problem with bottled water? Now you might have one point, problem point number 1 and problem point number 2. And so you say, you know, I'm going to go over two different problems. The first problem will be the chemicals that get leaked into your water, what the non-recycling of plastic does to the earth. And my third point is going to be the solution, what you can do instead of drinking out of bottles for bottled water. Those are your three main points. Now let's move on to our first point. Okay, that's the transition that you need. See down here at the bottom, you need a transition statement. You have to have a clear statement that takes us from the introduction of your speech to the body of your speech. This lets us know you're done with the intro. Remember your tenses. This is what I'm going to tell you. This is the future tense. Okay, so what we just talked about was the introduction, where you have to have all these parts for your introduction of your speech. Okay? We're going to move on to part 3, which is the body of your speech.